Ooh, that's loud. Hi. Oops. Okay. Hi, hello. Welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon into Sagittarius. So, Sagittario during Aries season is a ninth house event. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. It's a delight and an honor to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. If anything resonates deeply with you, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. We're just going to go ahead and jump in here. The ninth house is, well, it's kind of like when we're beyond a bachelor energy. We've typically, eighth house, explored the depths of our soul, confronted something that goes bump in the night, whether it's within our subconscious or if it's kind of out there in the world. We're typically wandered through the darkness enough to find the light. So the ninth house is the light at the end of the tunnel. It could be wrapping up, finishing up. It could be finding a belief, a faith, a hope, and optimism, something bigger, brighter, and better. Larger than ourselves, bigger than ourselves, grander than ourselves. It can just simply, in and of itself, be tuning into, tapping into, the great orchestration, the grand design. Typically, it's our ideas towards faith, hope, optimism. It's when we look up above the horizon, towards the stars, into the future. Okay. So it's going to mean other things as well. It can mean higher education, it can mean foreign travel, but typically it's flight and whoopsie, flight and fancies of the mind. We have the Five of Cups with the Devil card here, so I want to welcome us all in to the counselorship today. Again, my name is Priestess Abossi. I will be your oracle today. I was sent to preside over the Lunar Lounge. It's basically the Daily Tarot Buffet, where we will be dialoguing, discussing the transiting moon in Sagittarius during Aries season. Again, that's a ninth house event. The overall energy for this entire counselorship, this entire gathering, will be the Five of Cups, the Devil, the Ten of Cups, and the Page of Cups. Again, I repeat, for the entire counselorship today, as we're gathered here, the overall energy will be the Five of Cups, the Devil, the Ten of Cups, the Page of Cups. All other energies will clarify, delineate, enumerate, elucidate, enlighten us on this common core overall energy of this reading. Okay, Five of Cups is typically bursting of a bubble. It's disappointment. It's accepting defeat. Now, it can be crying over spilled milk. It won't be here because we don't have anything to the left. It's typically also being disappointed or depressed, but it's also having to clear or to purge away energy. With this Devil card, it means an attachment to something that we need to let go. Typically not a relationship, it's some kind of mechanism within ourselves. Page of Cups, Five of Cups, it could be feeling depressed, feeling disappointed. The Devil is toxic energy, it's negativity, toxicity. It can be fear, illusion, falsities, ignorance, okay? It's some lower vibrational energy, okay? It is also bondage, okay? I'm hearing Lothario, which typically means like, sassy time, but it also could just be, lethargy. Okay, I need a few other cards here. I'm also hearing Creed de Shaw, the cry of cats. So that just tells me that there's something spiritual that's gone on or it's trying to encroach upon the situation. Ten of Cups is the celestial endowment. It's the happily ever after. It technically means emotional fulfillment and it can talk about like a life partnership, a long-term relationship. It also talks about the ancestry, the hometown, the alma mater, maybe the college, or the town we belong to, but it also could talk about ancestral lineage or the eternal kingdom, as in like heaven. And then the Page of Cups is innocence and purity. It's the chosen child, different than the golden child, which is the Page of Wands. That's not what we have. Today, we have the Page of Cups. So that's the chosen child. Now, all this together right? So 10 of Cups and the Devil, that means it's a reversal. Or 5 means a reversal. So you know what this means? Abuse. Something's been abusive. We're going to begin to see some of the abusive mechanisms of society is what I'm feeling. Because the ninth house just talks about the collective belief, the collective knowing. It would brush up against what we see as like taboo. Okay. So a few things here. So Page of Cups with the Devil could mean a Capricorn rising, Venus in Cancer, or the seventh house. And then Devil with the Five of Cups just kind of doubles his energy. There is an attachment here. Something here is negative. Something here is in a reversal. So if there was anything of in terms of a spilled milk, it would be this Chariot card, which means something might have moved on, moved forward without us, left us behind. Now, I'm not feeling that. What I'm getting is that there's been some type of karmic cycle, 10 of Wands. Normally, I'd leave it alone, but the 10 of Wands with the Devil means the pit, Tartarus, Purgatorio, Inferno, something of that nature. With that, it would mean that there's been some hellish conditions. We might be buckling under the weight of our own karmic causes. And I say we, just collectively, and maybe us, and maybe other. I haven't seen the energy of other yet. Because some kind of truth needs to come. Now, there may have been an edict, some type of judgment rendered from the divine. And we could have been working through some kind of whatever, what have you, but we already have a double 5 and a double 10. So a double 5 means, honestly, depletions, declinations, like a decline, destabilization, debilitation even. With the 5 of Pentacles, it would mean being left out in the cold, abandoned. It also could mean that we've been turned off in some way, stripped, like something got turned off, like the spigot, the tap, the source, the supply got turned off. We could have been left in a hellish condition is what I'm getting. Now, really what I'm detecting is that there was a couple few things where the spirit, the universe, the divine had to kind of leave a couple of little different going on so that we could get a point, like get the point, catch a clue. And again, we're chosen with this Page of Cups, so we would have been protected, but we might not have been blessed in terms of material or spiritual blessings. In fact, we might have lost our intuition. We might have lost the source of capital for a while, so that a couple few things could get through because we needed to be heavenly. And honestly, what I'm detecting is we needed to get rid of energies, entities, ideologies in our environment, surrounding location. We needed to stop keeping on hanging on to things that wasn't serving us. We needed to walk through the darkness into the light, and we might not have had our eye on the prize. Now, to a lesser degree, technically, functionally, what this might mean is, I'm just going to read the cards as they come instead of the spiritualization of them. It would mean that we were stripped in some kind of way with the 10 of Wands, the Devil, and the 5 of Pentacles. That's being stripped. Being stripped for parts, being stripped of our gifts, of our energy, harvested even, and left like this. And we were carrying another being, and this being is either an attachment or a demon. Okay. Something here is guilty. Also, something kind of bad happened. So we might have been left out in the past because somebody was carrying a flame, left out in the cold, abandoned, withdrawn, shunned, because somebody was carrying a flame. And it doesn't always mean like, lecesso, coitus, copulation, bed pleasures. It could have been like somebody wanted something from us. Somebody had an idea. Somebody was expecting something from us. Expectations of premeditated resentments. There is some kind of open loop here. Somebody may have their sun in Capricorn. Somebody may have their rising in Capricorn. Because this other side, if there is, and it isn't, if there is, and it's us, we were making karmic causes. We were maybe carrying a flame. We might have been kind of on one or on something that isn't serving us. We're going to have to let go of it sooner now. Wrap up whatever we're kind of carrying on with because I feel like there's something in the way of our manifestation. Like something's not getting off the ground because we're on one. We already have a pair of nines, a pair of tens, a pair of fives. A double nine means completion. A double 10 means culmination. A double five means depletion. So we have depletion, completion, culmination. So we need to let something go. Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles with the Devil typically means that we're working on something that's blocking out something else, and there's an attachment of some kind that's born of ourselves. It's not a spiritual. Well, with the Nine of Swords, it can be, but that's something that's already been worked out. It's saying here that we need discernment. We need to let something go. Somebody may have their Mars in Scorpio or in the 8th house. That means we need to drum the depths of our subconscious because there's something to overcome here. Strength card. Strength, courage, and wisdom. We need some of that. Emotional fortitude. Formidable. Yeah, we need formidable. We need to be formidable. Lean into that discomfort, confront what's alive in us, you know, let it die, let it hurt, let it burn, move on, you know, and instructability, like we're indestructible. So I'm hearing formidable and indestructible here. So that's a combination that comes from morte. What is it? The death. Okay, so here's the Strigatia Benederia. If there is any kind of hocus pocus abracadabra, it would be right here with this death and strength card. So with the strength card, let me tell you what that means. It does mean that there's some energy, entity, ideology trying to repress us in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. But hey, I'm not seeing another being yet. This is all energy that could go either way. So this might be our lower self. We need to let something go. We need to let something die. We've been resting because there's some kind of trauma, and we're keeping on, holding on, attached to something, Four of Pentacles, that we don't need to be. With the Four of Swords, we're also like enmeshed or quarantined in some kind of way. We're held in a position. We might be entrenched in something. Yeah, and I'm hearing that song. You better keep on keeping on. You better keep your head up high. You better work with what you got. Because someday you will find. Yeah, so we are in a cozy little space. We have some kind of access or hearth or even like a home base or lair. And there's some kind of energy of resentment here. I'm going back to like, we're upsetting something and we don't know what it is. And I'm going to make this an object until the being comes out. Now, if there is someone around us with a Mars in Scorpio, Mars in the 8th house, that might be something different. There's also this energy here of we have Capricorn rising, but we also have Taurus rising. Okay. So that's something. And then we have Venus in Scorpio or the 8th house or the 7th house, really. We have Venus in Scorpio or Venus in Cancer. Do we have Venus in Cancer, the 4th house or the 7th house? We have Venus in Scorpio or the 7th house, which would talk about a Taurus rising. We have also a Capricorn rising. And we definitely have Venus in Scorpio here. I mean, okay, or Venus in Cancer. We definitely have Venus in Cancer, definitely have Venus in Scorpio. We definitely have a Capricorn rising or Capricorn moon. There's a little bit of a Libra rising energy here too. So we were ham-hogged and heavy. We were dogged on something. Ham-hog and heavy, wilding out, driving forward towards something. There's a creative new beginning here, but we need to do some kind of mutually beneficial nursing needs exchange. We need to be giving because we might have been just a little bit austere, cutthroat, hard to approach. We might have been unapproachable. inaccessible, not amenable, non agreeable, Queen of Swords. We might have been too strong, like a glamazon, Amazonian, because we were needing something to be quite clear, and we were needing somebody to kind of face up, fess up. We were kind of exacting in a way. And it's a mechanism of our strength, which means we needed to be more kind of like affectionate. We weren't. We are, but we weren't. There's definitely a Cancer sun here. There's definitely a Libra rising here. Most likely Venus in the 7th or 4th house. Okay, we definitely, okay, I hope I enunciated that. We definitely have Venus in Cancer. 2 of Cups, Page of Cups, Chariot, and the Empress definitely means Venus in Cancer, Venus in the 7th or 4th house. Empress with the Chariot and the 2 of Cups means Venus in Cancer or the 4th house. When the Page of Cups comes out, it also brings in the 7th house because the pages are the descendant, the knights are the ascendant, which is also known as the rising. The kings are the midheaven, and the queens are the IC, the bottom of the chart. I always just tune into the rising sign because that's easier, unless you kind of go deeper beyond surface level, superficial into astrology. It's a little bit more difficult to discern. But we have a couple few things. Let's talk about it. This is about our true authentic self. This is about our spiritual strength. This is about us being a lioness, a great mother, a powerful female, or powerful if we're male, nurturer and creator. But it's not about the creation itself. It's about the creative energy. And also, this might be the ability, it's not here yet, but it's not the ability to take a difficult or unfavorable or unpopular position, but it's the willingness to. Not the ability, not the actuality, but the willingness to take an unpopular position. We need to fess up or face up to something. We need to fess up about our feelings or our inclinations emotionally. It's called vulnerability. So there's what we call honesty, transparency, and vulnerability. Vulnerability is the third part of closeness. So first, when you're honest, you just say, hey, this is what's up. The sky is blue, the Pope is Catholic, la-di-da, yada-yada. Then the second step is transparency. The sky is blue and I'm not so happy that it's getting dark. So you don't just say what's going on, but you say really how you feel about it. And then the third step is vulnerability. The sky is blue. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but the sky is blue, but it's getting dark, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Would you mind staying with me? I don't want to be alone tonight. I'm dramatizing that, but that's what it is. Understand this, and I'm going to say it because I'm going to say it because I'm going to say it, so I'm going to say it, okay? If we are Imperatrice, L'Imperatore, if we are Empress, Emperor, if we are Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, that means we're a demigoddess or an archangel in the flesh. Which means that we are, when I say higher vibration, doesn't necessarily mean, oh, we're bigger, brighter, and better than you. Everybody is nobody's better than anybody else. Some people are more deserving, okay? So if we have the wherewithal, if we have the spiritual acumen, if we have the spiritual knowledge, if we have the spiritual insight, if we're awakened, if we're healed, it's our job to hold the line, to hold the gate. Now, of course, according to our standards and boundaries, and if there's deceit or malice, we're free to leave. Contempt is part of malice, okay? However, if everything's checking out, if all cylinders are on go, we're going to have to shoulder the burden just a little bit, and it's part of our job. Remember, if we make great sacrifice, we get great blessing, and that's why we have a spiritual inheritance and others don't. They really do, but it's not any of the thing that we get. So sometimes if we're an emperor, what that means is that we know better. We're also somewhat of like an otherworldly being. We're just using our human body as a vessel for our consciousness. We're not quite a human. We're a little bit something different. So what that means is that we're dealing with beings that are here kind of they got admitted to Earth School. We're part of the faculty, we're part of the staff. We're kind of running the class, running the school. We're not necessarily participating in the school. We're not a participant, we're a facilitator. So in that sense, we might have to take a moment to explain things that we wouldn't really want to explain. And remember, a queen never complains or never explains, but if somebody has the curiosity, investigation, examination, we can take a moment to explain that. Does that make sense? If somebody's willing to ask, then sure, we'll be willing to tell. If somebody wants to catch something from the horse's mouth instead of being the usual, the standard, the common, the petty, the basic, the boring human, that just takes whatever crapola from the donkey's anus instead of goes directly to the horse's mouth, we need to let them as well. So the couple few things left is to understand that we might be a little bit too mighty, too powerful. Does it mean that we're better because we have a higher vibration? This means proximate location. We're higher up on the numbers of the block than they are. They might be at the 100 ABC Easy Street, and we might be at 800 ABC Easy Street, Anytown Lane, or whatever Merry Little Mainville, you know. So when we say higher vibration, the higher vibration, the more you can understand as well. So if we're at 800 megahertz, we'll understand things that a person at 300 megahertz is going through, but the 300 megahertz won't understand what we're experiencing at the 800 megahertz. Does that make sense? So whose job is it? If we're a professor with a PhD, we've already completed 8th grade. We were already a freshman in college or whatever, what have you. So we need to handle up, level up, boss up, G up, and contribute. Because we're inaccessible, unapproachable, unamenable, disagreeable. There's something about our energy that can't be penetrated, and it's spooking the other side. So much so where they want to throw this whatever away. And it doesn't mean we're dealing with another person, but that is part of it. The other part of it is that we're formidable. We can't do the little rukuku, the little rakaka, the little, brujeria, abracadabra, stregeria, benederia, hocus pocus, it don't work. The little mechanisms, tricks, tactics, operandi, strategies, they don't work. They don't. They just don't. Okay? So what that means is we kind of are threatening. We're a little bit scary. No, okay. Yes, with the Queen of Swords and the Devil card, we can be cruel. We can be vicious even. But honestly, not with the Strength. With the Strength card and the Nine of Wands, it means we're too strong. We might be too hyper independent. We do need to kind of. I dislike this word because I don't have a uterus, even though I live in my feminine. Demure. Okay, I dislike that word. But we need to be a little bit more tasteful, a little bit more demure. Because we're just like, what do you want? Be about what you're about. Come. We're kind of sick of the BS. And other people are going to utter and mutter and stutter and fool around and fumble around and look kind of stupid. And we need to find some kind of, not compassion, but love and grace about it. People are showing up the best they can. And when we're clear that a person's not doing better because they know better, when we're clear that a person wants to be stuck on stupid, we need to let them. But also part of this is we just need to reach out our hand and grab on what wants us. We need to let the universe bless us in some kind of way. And part of that is putting love out into the universe. Something in the bank account is depleting. We didn't keep making deposits, but we kept making withdrawals. So now we're kind of hitting negative balance. And the currency is love. We have that spiritual strength, we have that spiritual power, we have that ashe. There's some kind of mutually beneficial, nourishing need exchange that's not present. And that, my friend, is love. Okay, it's love. Love is the answer, desire is the key. If you ask, then come play with me. Love is the answer, desire is the key. If you ask, then come play with me. Yeah, so that's what's up. Could we have highly blessed, favored, chosen, and anointed, creative, nurturing energy according to our role here in creation, which is the grand orchestration or the great design. However, it's entered into some kind of bondage. Essentially, what that is either we're dealing with a Capricorn rising, Venus in Cancer, or something here feels broken up with, like we've rejected them or purged them. And we do need to have a purging, a flushing of energy. Something does need to be cleared away. I don't want to say that that's not the truth. Some things just are backfiring, not a source. It's not working because there's a lack of authenticity here. There's too much worrying about what the other person wants, what the other person expects, or us believing what the other person is or is not based off reaction. It's not proactive. It's not responsive. It's reactive. It's reactive energy. So Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. Today we will be deliberating the findings from Ripe Avocado. That's the minor arcana of Cosmic Coven Tarot by Lillian Lazenby, and that's for any type of pairing energy. We'll also be using Los Scarabeo, Vida Sibila Oracle. That's the daily oracle. For any type of corresponding or correlative energy, we'll be imposing the guidance from This Might Hurt Tarot. That's over at Liminal 11 Publishing, and it's by Isabella Rotman. We do have a little love here, so we'll go ahead and use it's over at Etsy. It's called, Vibe About It. It's over at Etsy. It is called Pop of Love Oracle by Vibe About It Tarot. Now, it's the Ten of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Empress here. Yeah, gluttony, gluttonous, gossip. Okay. Yeah, mislabel, misjudge, misperceive, unable to control, and has an overwhelming need to share false or misleading information, overindulging and over consuming of personal narratives that may or may not be true. Wasn't I just saying that? I love my job. Yeah, and I'm hearing that. If you want me, let me know. Yeah, okay. And then describe as a guy that thinks it's right. Okay, so somebody's coming low vibrational. Instead of being about what they're about, they're shucking and jiving, massaging their persuasion to hide the truth and protect their feelings. Honey, rejection is an illusion. If you're actually getting rejected, you're not getting rejected. You're being freed up to go to the next thing. And usually, if there is rejection, we're rejecting ourselves. Because you won't miss 100% of the shots you don't take. This could be us, but you're playing games. Power couple. Instead, you're drinking that Kool-Aid. You on that. You on and popping with the desensitization, checking out, doing whatever, what have you, just to protect your feelings. Emotionally detached due to fear of unwanted, or excuse me, emotionally detached due to fear or unwanted behaviors, feeling numb and suppressing feelings through either drugs, alcohol, or other addictive behaviors. Listens to others and disregards their own feelings, knowingly goes along with other people's plans and ideas without thinking of their own feelings. Versus the dream team of change. Reunion creates exponential growth, highly influential, and agents of change. That's what we're supposed to be doing. What they're actually doing is taking each other for granted. That's what's happening. They stopped learning from us spiritually. They're stuck. All right. So that's what this is saying. There's been a lot of backfires because they want to be sure. But see, aren't you sure once you ask and you get, okay, so that's the donkey's hand as much as the horse's mouth. Let me stop because it's odious opinions. What is this? Okay, this is too much for me. Unrelatable, unsympathetic advice, easily influenced by others and their viewpoints, unpleasant opinions, creating doubt and denial of the connection. I'll be right back. Okay, so spiritual practice, because there's a destiny here. So somebody needs to calm their mind, calm their ego, calm their reaction. You know, they get a little too flustered when the truth comes for them because they know that there's an opportunity, opportunidad over here in that word, opportunidad. They know there's an opportunity here, but they keep, being silly about it. Infatuation, being carried away by unreasonable passion, obsessively strong emotions for someone based on physical needs and or believing it is a perfect relationship. That's fine, but be about what you're about. Take action, regardless of the effects. Don't worry what the outcome's going to be. You will miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Fear is false evidence appearing real, or face everything and rise. You could do what you do, be about what you're about, but then you get what you get because you did what you did. If you did know nothing, you get no nothing. That's what's up. That's what's up. At the end of the day, that's what it's going to be. So, there you go. So we could be fulfilled, but there does need to be some bombastica. Changes that are difficult but necessary for growth. Moments of life that push us to be better and to do better because we deserve better. Oy, Dios mío, what is this? Okay, so completion or achievement. Feeling happy and satisfied with one's life. Going after what they want and getting what they want out of life. I love my job. Okay, so this is what's not happening. This is what's blocked. Okay. Divine feminine. We can't come through, pull through because the future's not clear and we're working on ourselves. But we do feel a telepathic connection with this energy, but it's not coming through, pulling through. So we've had to desensitize just as much as them, or we're being nullified in our telepathic connection because they're not working on them, whatever. They're running because they're juggling other things. They're also chasing because they want something. Maybe it's some type of chronic, maladaptive, idiosyncratic, perfunctory connection, or there might be some kind of flesh addiction. That's called a process addiction or a touch addiction. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm getting pornography. I'm sorry to say, that's what's coming through. So I'll leave that right there. This should have been going on since Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. So this should happen within the month or two, or there should be some type of growth here. Something should have been, um, you can reap what you sow. So we should be sowing intention, investing in a bigger, brighter, better future. But we're not working together; we're working apart, and that's just unacceptable. Or it's not gonna deliver the result that we want. Okay, and some of the correlative energies here. So this is also new, but instead of going on a fact-finding mission, curiosity, investigation, examination, what we're doing is holding on to whatever maladaptive idiosyncratic belief, and we're looking at things that have been missed or that haven't happened yet, instead of focusing on what could be happening. And that's just what's going on. Somebody needs to put something to bed because they made a secret move or they were unclear about what their intentions were and they never panned out because they didn't ask for help. Okay, and so now they're acting in secret or they're using this strategy or tactic, and that's not doing nothing either. Okay, when they don't realize there's plenty of hope here, but they're on some other ish. I don't know what that is. See, this doesn't have to be, you know, lava McLova. It also is that the other interpretation is that we were in some kind of relationship with the maladaptive idiosyncratic perfunctory energy, probably with the cabal, the dark cabal. We were kind of enshrined in the matrix, corral through conditioning and programming into some kind of colonizer controller energy. I don't know if it was Mother Than Teacher Preacher. I don't know if it was history books, science book, religious books. Ultimately, we were compassion baited, tone police, concern trolled, you know, respectability politics essentially is what that is, which is individuality shaming, tone policing. Something's going to turn around quite suddenly and shift because there is like some kind of plan, strategy, tactic. I don't know what that is. I don't like that energy. Like, if you need to use a tactic, you need to go. Unless you going out into business or making investments, but relationships don't need tactics. Relationships need truth, closeness, trust, Vulnerability, that's the definition of intimacy. Into me you see. Warmth, trust, closeness, vulnerability, that's intimacy. Without that, there's no nothing. That's what's up. So I don't know what this is. It's unpleasant and unsavory. We have the Death card and the Five of Cups. Okay, so I wanted to talk about that, but something else came through. It's the Chariot and the Two of Cups here. So we should be moving forward on love. And Allegrezza al Cuore, we might have stumbled into this. We might not have known that it was here because there was something secretive about it. Actually, something and I'm saying love, but it could just be a connection, a bond. We need to move forward on things that feel right, that feel close, regardless if it's intimate or not. Congenial, filial, don't matter, don't care. Because there's a belief system here, but I'm not seeing the Lord. Not God, Papa Bandiu, Adi Baba. I'm seeing the Lord of Karma, but that's transition and inevitable change. I'm seeing the Goddess, but the world card would need to come out for worship. What I'm seeing is that we're indomitable as a female. We were showing up to this energy and the other side wasn't. But they're going through some kind of karmic expediation. They're being brought back to the divine kingdom. They had to get saved. We felt entitled, so we felt left out in the cold because of clinging and grasping, or a lack of asking, a lack of being clear. We are kind of stoic, austere. That might be difficult to kind of show up or interact with, interface with, but what's being withheld from us is that something's burning on the other side. That actually they had plans that didn't go according to their way. But this whole time they could have just stepped inside and been intimate, being clear with us. They could have said what they needed to say. They could have used words, language, syllables. They could have uttered and muttered syllables out of that hole in their face and things would have worked out better. Let's not say the right way, but better. Okay, so it's all of a sudden like we made a faux pas because we weren't friendly. But here's the thing about an intuitive hoe. Oh, excuse me. Well, hoe, Heaux, coming to our level or somebody trying to get you to their level. Here's the deal. If you're dealing with an intuitive person and your words are not matching your actions and or your energy, it's not going to work. If you're sitting there harboring something in the back of your mind and shucking, jiving, massaging, persuasion to hide the truth and protect your feelings, it's not going to work. You've got to be about what you're about. Speak the truth even when your voice shakes. That's what it is. Because when you're dealing with an intuitive person, they're going to sense what's right and what's not, what's in alignment and what's not. But we've discovered a lot of energy here, and it's been like a very, very, very intensive to go through. There's more. Yeah, so one thing that I'm detecting is that both sides are holding on to something. One of us is going to have to open up, level up. Yeah, and this other side is really competing, but it's not going to get them nothing because they're hurt. There's some wound, trauma, active trauma. It's not. It's active trauma, meaning it's not. Trauma is something that changes you. You need to level up in order to move forward. That's trauma. Complex trauma is a couple few things. Complex trauma may be prolonged, it may be multiple, or it may be one trauma that happens before the previous trauma heals. So when we have a trauma that hasn't healed, that's called active trauma, which means one of two things. We're either still being wounded and the event hasn't stopped or we have an open wound, which means the event has stopped, but we haven't healed that trauma. We haven't moved on. So there's an active trauma here. Yeah, so there needs to be some kind of transition or ending. And unfortunately, we're the one in a stuck position because this other side is trying to kill the love. They're servicing something. They're trying to be helpful in some kind of way. Or that might be what blocked it, is they were trying to be helpful. Instead of telling us what they wanted, they were sitting there talking about what we could have been doing, and that was just unsolicited advice. The thing about being helpful is a person needs to ask for help. We may think we're being helpful, but we're really hindering the other side because we're confusing them. If we don't understand the person's intentions or motivations, or if we haven't used curiosity, investigation, examination to even ask if they're wanting help, or to say, hey, are you in distress? Can I offer my support? What we're doing is, colluding, confusing the situation. It becomes convoluted. That's another thing that I'm getting here. With this Queen of Pentacles, there may be some kind of Virgo moon or a Gemini rising. If you're looking like that and you're looking like trash, can't give it up, baby. So no, I don't want your number. I don't want to give you my name. So there's a little bit of a resentment, like one of these energies didn't show up properly or didn't handle up properly. It's almost like we went out on a limb to exchange or to engage, and it just wasn't mutually beneficial nursing. It wasn't copacetic. It wasn't a nice flow. It wasn't a nice vibe. And that's the truth. If it's not a flow, it's not a go, but somebody's caught some kind of resentment here. And I don't wanna meet you nowhere. I don't want none of your time. No love from me. Uh-oh. Trying to holler at me. Yeah, and the thing is, it's difficult to come back to this because it was displeasing. It brought a lot of things to the surface, and there was some kind of acting out. They didn't go about it the right way because there was hoping, wishing, and praying, but longing. So spiri. It was almost like they tried to figure out why it didn't work, but they needed to examine themselves because they thought there was something wrong on our end, whatever that is, whether it's an institution or individual. Because this is reading like love. But if this is reading on love in the ninth house, this is a twin or soulmate union. So it says like they need access, they need vulnerability, they need us to let them in. And we need to be loving, caring, and kind. And but the thing is, we've always done that. We need to be compassionate towards any type of maturity on our end or their end. We have the Ten of Wands with the Devil. See, I can't get out of here. I want to be gone. We have the Ten of Wands with the Devil. That's hell on earth. So they're going to have to spend time. They're going to have to sit in it. And unfortunately, things are just going to be stuck on our end, and they're going to sit there with their feelings. The longing may make them come around, or they'll try to be nice and cordial to us, but they really need to be honest with us. This situation's coming back around. And I don't know, for whatever reason, we're suffering more. We're stuck in place. It's saying that there's more here to discern, but I don't know what to discern. I don't know what to discern. Please just tell it to me in the other. So we're looking at this pair of aces. That means a union, and it's on the other side. There something here wants to put like a label on it, or they want to manifest something. King of Pentacles. Here on our end, we have the Page of Pentacles, which means either we needed to make an offer, receive some kind of information, or receive an offer. And for whatever reason, they're nervous here. There's a double seven. So they had a plan. They're holding their ground for some kind of union. And frankly, they feel like they're in a relationship elsewhere, but I don't see a Three of Swords. There's not a preponderance of twos. even if they are in a connection, the universe hasn't recognized it. There's no third party here. It's saying that we're in a union with somebody that wants to give us love. But for some reason, we've been made to cry or had to become strong because we got left out in the cold because we're too strong. This energy came towards us and feels wounded, but they never gave us the truth, not in a way that we could receive it. It could have been that we were stuck on stupid, but we were looking for a creative new beginning and we never recognized it when it came in, if it came in. Oh, excuse me. So we have a pair of queens. It usually means competition, to be honest. The 10 of wands, there's something here that is burdensome or building. Yeah, we're kind of in a hellish condition, honestly. I don't know how else to say that because either we're carrying a flame or we're dealing with a burden. Like this energy being in this cycle is tedious and monotonous for us. Now, this other side, I don't know if it's not a strategy, but they're working on something. They're working on, it could be sex, to be honest. The two of wands could be sex, but also like is delayed. It's a delayed message. Uh, and it's the way that it looks like is they worked on something that we got in terms of delay, and um, they were burdened or overwhelmed, is what I'm picking up on, or us. I mean, it is leaning more on their side. On our side, it means that we wanted the same thing, but we went about it a different way, and we might have been boring, petty, basic, or there's some kind of karmic lesson here. Five of Wands. There's a pair of nine. Okay, so we got some type of, grant me a moment. So I just want to recap. There is some kind of hellish condition here in this connection. And this is all because of the Aries season and the Sagittarius moon transit during Aries season, which means we have a ninth house event. So there's something here to change around our belief, not our belief system, but our belief about the future. And there's also something here to clean up or clear up our faith. On our end, we're too strong. And on the other end, there's been some type of inevitable ending. There could also be Scorpio energy here with the King of Cups in this death card to a lesser degree. That could be an Aquarius rising. That could be a Virgo moon with this Queen of Pentacles in the Hermit. To a lesser degree, a Gemini rising. There needed to be some kind of equally beneficial nourishing needs exchange. And honestly, there was some type of union that was felt, some type of bond that was felt, but a creative new beginning didn't come out of it. Perhaps it was offered to us, but we weren't aware of it. It wasn't clear. And also, we do appear to be a little bit prickly. The overall energy, I just want to repeat, is the Five of Cups, Devil, 10 of Cups, Page of Cups. So it's saying that there's something as a disappointment. Somebody needed to accept defeat. They need to go back to the drawing table, stop crying over spilled milk, and try again from a different perspective or a different tactic. That's not what they did. They took it to mean that they were wounded in some kind of way and they tried to let go of something. But it's indomitable. It hasn't died. And it's not the thing that should die, is that it couldn't be killed. But it did deplete, it did destabilize. There is some type of debilitation, destabilization, loss here, a little bit of chaos as well with the pair of fives and the devil. Let's look into this pair of fives here. Oop, 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 oop. So one thing I want to say about the other side is that they're holding their position, but it's out of fear. They're under some type of impression that's wrong. Everything that they're doing is backfiring. So again, it's also saying that even though we've received a little bit of harm, we're at a high vibration. We're in a more awakened and healed state. So we need to be loving, caring, and kind, and really truly compassionate to them. Because we're at a vibration where we have a higher access of knowledge and understanding. And it does appear that they can't reach us, but really they weren't coming correct. And if we're dealing with love during a ninth house transit, it's because it's a soulmate union. And honestly, what the ninth house does besides foreign travel and lofty goals and ambitions and stuff like that is it gives us a renewal to our faith, or it gives us that light at the end of the tunnel. And what we don't recognize right now is we're walking through a tunnel, a darkness. So this pair of fives is that we're sitting in our value, our self-worth and value, and what we deserve. And we know it in some kind of way. But this other side, they're being forced to spend some time alone. There's a need to spend some time alone. Because of some nourishing, beneficial needs exchange, they got what they wanted somewhere else, or they found a way to get something that they wanted somewhere else, so they're working on something else. Instead of attending to the situation, they're going elsewhere. But it's a step down. They're settling. Okay. Yeah, it's a backfire because they're in distress, emotional distress. We might need to pray for them because a reunion with practical knowledge and skill will completely turn this around. So much so that it'll manifest a reality spontaneously or suddenly. Um, this is a follow-up to the double five here. This is what we lost out on. If there's a little more give and take from them, something's gonna shift here. I just heard a narrative and it sounds so specific that I don't know why to say it. But the conversation was that I've been in this thing with you for 14, 15 months, and I've let a lot of other things go thinking that I need to work on this. I'm just going to tell God that I can't finish this assignment and have him reassign me. So if we're the Empress, that's not going to go well for them. I'm just going to put it that way and move on. Okay, so what's this pair of 10? Yeah, okay, so this is being highly like a high vibration. It's also nurturing like ambition, drive, desires, passions, motivations. It's also like the celebrity that they need to be celebrated or they need to receive, you know, adoration. And typically there's some type of affection, adoration, appreciation, acknowledgement that needs to be given to them. Um, and that's not what they got or what they perceive. We keep getting these two cards, Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. So Nine of Swords can mean that something's backfiring. They tried to make a commitment and backfired, and it's causing great distress. They went elsewhere and talked about it or collaborated with it, and they're not getting the support that they want. We're too difficult to approach or understand. They don't have what it takes, but also they may feel that we're very beautiful. There's love here, but there needs to be actions of love, not just, yeah, because they're feeling left out in the cold and we're feeling canceled. Or this is an illumination that we need. And so we should finish this up. And normally I would extend the reading since we're at an hour, but this is not the cast to do it. It's not Oracle Council. It's actually the Daily Tarot Buffet. Can get with a baby. Oh, no, I don't want your number. I don't want to give you mine, and no, I don't want to meet you nowhere. I don't want none of your time. Your love for me. Oh, oh, trying to holler at me. Okay, so what is this about? Because it's not getting any better. Yeah, we have all the fives. I can look at them. I'm seeing them. Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Five of Swords. So that is anarchy. Honestly, I keep getting the energy. We got this before that they're acting strategically. And we need to let go, let God with this hangman here. Yeah, the saddest part of a broken heart isn't the ending as much as the start. The tragedy starts from the very first part, losing your mind for the sake of your heart. Yeah, so there was something early on that should have happened that didn't. Because we both want the same thing, we're going about it in a different way. Five of Wands. It's a karmic lesson and it's mutual. With us, we probably seen things from some kind of different perspective, but they're wanting to compete or wanting to create some type of competition or they're wanting to contest. They like being independent, and what they're fighting is feeling like they need something. Because we are the embodiment of their hopes, wishes, dreams, aspirations. Really, their drives, desires, passions, motivations, hearts, ambitions, souls, desires. That's what we're the embodiment of. And we're not being warm towards them. We're not being fun, we're not being playful. That's really what I'm getting. And listen, if I'm going to keep saying this for the times when love shouldn't be coming up, but it is. I finally reconciled that. It'll always and forever feel uncomfortable, but now I know what to do. We shouldn't be talking about love today because it's not a place where love is. It's not the seventh house. It's not the fifth house. It's not the third house or the fourth house. It's the ninth house. We're supposed to be talking about global affairs, spirituality, belief in the divine. But for some reason, we're talking about a love, which means number one, we're going to find a light in the darkness. And number two, this is a soulmate union. So I'm feeling like we needed to be more playful. We needed to flirt. And I'm not into that energy worth waiting for, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to hold on to a hook that feels like it's killing me. True love, playfulness. Okay. Past life relationship. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit to shine. Our feelings are worth exploring, worth waiting for. but, what is this? Children, okay. Because the universe wants us to have children with these people. Soulmate is saying that they acted the way they did as a matter of self-respect, but there's a reconciliation here. They need less harsh energy because there's some goal that they have. Okay, I'm getting a lot of information. Somebody that we're connected to, and it's not everybody watching, but some of us are connected to a person that wanted us, waited for us, and then they've moved on to another person out of self-respect. There's a little bit of competition here, but we're not in it. They really wanted to be in some kind of relationship, and they feel like they didn't get what they wanted from us. And we have the third nine, which is forced isolation. They're isolating themselves. They put themselves into something so that they don't have to feel. Four of Swords with a triple nine. Yeah, Five of Cups in reverse. They were sad. They didn't want to know how to deal with their sadness. But this is supposed to be a happily ever after long-term relationship. We have the Two of Cups flanked by a double 10, and it's the Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, which is lifetime relationship, legacy plan. We're supposed to build a family with this person. Seven of Pentacles. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot by not being more open and acceptable. Because the energy did come at us already. And they're sad because they feel like something they tried didn't work. That's really what they think. And all we wanted to do was have more time with them. They're under the impression that they already worked on this. So now we have a triple three. So now they're moving on elsewhere. I don't understand what this means. I'm confused. Because it's saying now that this is in God's hands. And I don't see it. I don't see it. But we might need to pray for them because it's saying that we need to intercede for them. We need to go before the Lord and tell the Lord what's going on because, yeah, there's some type of plan. Yeah, divine feminine telepathic tower moments. So it's saying that this was necessary for our growth. It pushes us to be better and do better because we deserve more. What is it? Being more friendly, even though we're agitated, being more vulnerable, even though we're being stepped all over. That's literally what this is saying. It's saying that we need to allow being burdened, but quickly remove the burden. Meaning, like, be direct, be firm, but very compassionate and nurturing at the same time. Because they were stepping on our last nerve, is really what this is saying. And when we reacted to whatever they were doing, they took that as rejection. And my heart is vibrating now. So something kind of bad happened here, but apparently it's not over. But there's a third party, and this person is crying in the corner. I don't know how else to say that. So we were triple five and a triple nine. I'd rather not have the triple five or the triple nine. Now nines I'm fine with, but not here. And then the fives, no, no. So a triple five means anarchy. Something's getting out of hand. 10 of Wands with the devil, that's confirmed. And then triple nine means forced isolation. And the isolation is on their side. We're in God's hands. God is getting us ready for something. 7 of Pentacles. With the Strength card, we're indomitable. It hurts like heck, but it's not going to break us. And we're used to this, Queen of Swords. So we might have kind of been like, what is this? What do you want? Be about what you're about. We might have been like, hey, what, tap, 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 what is going on? What is going on? And that might have scared them. It might have made them run away. Because they took action. And right now it says like there's nothing here we can do. Now there may be a Leo or a Scorpio rising here. What is this triple nine? Yeah, I'm hearing that God's plan. God's plan. Yeah, yeah. Okay, magical muse. Yeah, we know that we're a power couple here, but it's us that knows. Because they're drinking the Kool-Aid, ignoring all the signs and signals. Listens to others, disregards their own feelings, knowingly goes along with other people's plans and ideas without thinking of their own well-being. Great source of great source of artistic inspiration and beyond. A lover, a friendly infatuation, maybe a stranger. One, yeah. So either a stranger intervened or they don't know how to approach us because we're too sparkly like a unicorn. That's what I'm getting. Ooh, this is painful. Okay, so what's this triple five? We're on a high ground and they are throwing attention because they can't get to us. Also, they might have made another commitment or they were trying to make a commitment that, well, I'm getting that the commitment's on hold because they're second guessing themselves. They're caught up in some kind of way. Because us, either we've been rejected or we have to detach. And I honestly feel like we've been detached this whole time. That's the position that we've been in, is a detached one. Whenever there's a reunion and a reconciliation, what's going to happen? Yeah, we're going to have to stand in our energy though. So this whole coming off the mountain, being more demure, or we need to be more demure and hold our power back, but it doesn't mean like not be powerful. It means use it differently because they are either confused or they're being sneaky. And what they're hiding is that they were confused. This is what they're not being truthful about, is that they're confused. They don't know. And see, I don't understand that. This is like painful and enraging all at the same time, the feelings that I'm having. Like my heart aches and I'm also offended. And like when I get answers to questions, uh, like a Vaifankula, like I would F your craziness, man. F you, go. Like this, go. Be about what you're about. Come get this or go away. Like that. Okay. So, yeah, like you see, King of Swords, like clarity, because they're in this wounded little. Okay, oh gosh, like the words that I'm hearing aren't great, and it's from Grandma. They're in this wounded little boy-ish, is what I heard, and that's a judgment. So, those who needed to hear that heard that, and I wouldn't make that absolute or universal, because this is a situation that needs compassion. But why would we tiptoe around somebody's feelings if they're tap dancing all over ours? Does that make sense? Like, I know you have feelings. I don't give a F about your feelings right now when you're stepping all over mine. F your feelings. What do you need from me? And of course we're the Queen of Swords because we've been made to cry. My heart aches right now. That's all I can say. I'm getting a whole, I'm sorry for the pause. I'm getting a whole dialogue. So there's one more thing. We have the 555 now. What's this 999? Another nine came and double nine. Oh, shoot, shot at. So we have 5 poppers. Okay, so that means this is something that's going on in a higher realm. So the only reason why this is hanging on with bootstraps and glue and everything is because this is going on in another plane. We have uno, due, tre, quattro, cinque. So we have 5 cards here. Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. Nine of Swords. This has been coming out a lot. Then we have Page of Swords with the Ace of Wands. So we're both burning for each other, but that's a late, and we need to work together. We need to figure it out together. Underneath all of this is so they feel like they can't get to us because we're on a solid ground. However, all they need to do is be honest about the fact that they feel connected and that they wanted to be in a something ship with us. This is what should be going on. 4 of Cups, 4 of Wands, 2 of Cups. That's soulmate twin flame union. No wonder this love is coming up during the 9th house. We should be talking about God right now or the little cabals, not another mother effer. Okay, let me stop because this is starting to frustrate me. The thing that they need us to be needy or something, I don't get this. This is like unevolved human-ish. That just agitates my soul. Of course we have the Queen of Swords. Of course. You need me to be wanting, hoping, wishing, praying, conjuring up some wounding from the past, all needy, thinking a man is a plan, down on my luck, heartbroken because you ain't around or you acting stupid. Is that what this is? Because that's a no. Every single mother effing time to the end of time. It will forever and a day be no. If that's the position that you're taking on. So let's continue this narrative because that better change right quickly. So the late message here is that there's a connection. They feel in a union and we were holding space for them, but maybe we didn't make that clear. And they were feeling hunted or feeling targeted. And what's being hidden here is that there's some energy on the periphery that was blocking this. There was some type of interference because I was speaking Etruscan, which is like ancient Roman, and then I just got that right now. We have the 3 of Swords with the 3 of Cups with the okay, so there's a coven energetically targeting us. It was the 3 of Pentacles with the 9 of Swords, but I said the 3 of Cups with the 9 of Swords. So the 3 of Cups is a coven, 3 of Pentacles is a cabal. And if it is a coven that's coming up as a cabal, they're all initiated under the same spirit because they're trying to block the road. They don't want this person we're connected to come towards us because they're so attractive. They're jealous. But this is promised to us. This is the golden child, and we're the chosen child. This was promised to us. Okay, let me stop because I'm getting very upset. But I get like that around evil, which is not uncommon. 9 of Swords again. It's true. But This keeps happening, spiritual interference. Let me grant me a moment. I said this earlier. I, you see what I'm saying? Like there's interference here. There's interference. Like you can try to go up against us all you want, but we have divine energy. When we merge back into spirit, we're a goddess, we're a queen, a king. We represent an entire galaxy, an entire star system. Like use a little old regular schmegular witch with your little cabal and coven. Like you got to go and group and gang stalk to come up against little old us. And you do it every single little thing, and barely even touching us. And you see, here's a real secret, and I'm gonna let it happen because I'm gonna give you some more rope. Here's what's up. You want to be what you about? Okay, homie, you do you, boo. You handle up on that. Good luck. You know, if they are messing with a cosmically ordained destiny, that's the worst thing. See, witches are scared of other witches. Some witches are scared of being exposed because they're hiding in the church or whatever. Here's what they really should be afraid of: God. So if you are messing with the destiny of a divinely chosen and spiritually ordained individual, it's a wrap. One day it's going to be a wrap. No wonder it's in God's hands. Hangman with the will of La Fortuna. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. Hope, sospiri. Hope. Speranza, excuse me. That's longing. Sospiri is longing. Speranza. Yeah. See, we're married to the divine. And there is some energy out there that is blocking the gate. So we might need to do some more protective magic or warding or whatever, because there's some kind of affection, adoration, appreciation towards us. But look, this is our destiny. King of Cups with a pair of aces, union. Okay. So they can do what they do. They can be about what they about. All they're going to do is block it for a little bit, but it's never going to go. This is a 9. This is a 10. You can do what you do, boo. Have fun with that. Have fun with that. But you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. Yeah. So all we need to do is just be dutiful, be friendly. They're going to shoot themselves in the foot. Yeah. So there's an enemy here. Somebody wanted to be chosen and they weren't. And there is some type of energy of like animosity or resentment or something like that. Somebody feels ignored or thrown away or whatever. I don't know. I don't understand this. I gotta go because this is a mess. Oh, but we're looking into this witch. There's a witch here. Nine of Swords with the High Priestess, that's witch. It means that here that they get their rocks off on going after it. Does that make sense? There's a huntress here. So let's see what this is because it's not gonna work. They're trying to hem up our Four of Wands, but it's backfiring on them. And it has been for some time. What's a king to a god? So we're almost at 2 hours here. What's a god to a non-believer who don't believe? And anything. Okay, so the days are numbered because of this Libra moon. So by the time we get to June, before we get to the Capricorn full moon, this is going to be over. But it's mostly going to be over somewhere between the Scorpio and the Sagittarius full moon. Okay? It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. Boom, there you go. A judgment from the divine. Judgment card. Boop. Yeah, there is definitely magic, baneful energy. It's a huntress. It's a huntress. But it's a little old page, and look at us as the king. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Listen, darling, take care of yourself. Just a quick prayer for all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion, trapped in the seas of time, lost and when the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of divine, unconditional, loving, universal oneness. Upon, we love you. We're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, your path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. May we all be healthy. May we all be well. May we all be whole. May we all be healed. May we all receive everything we ever wanted, starting with what we deserve. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, dhanava, and ashe. Sayonara, das vidanya, vidite. Go ahead and smash that like button. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.